going to be okay. But we had a really good show. We had Kevin Calabrese, and we also had Cody Freeland, and they are both with the ASU College Republicans. Very sharp, smart millennials. And we talked about a lot of politics, as you can imagine. And you can go to the podcast show. Actually, you can go to our Facebook site. That's Chips, letter N, Salsa Show, and go to the Facebook
So you're
site.
filming it now?
And when you see it, Sonia has it up already. She's videotaping us. And you can share. So if you share that from your site to everybody else's site, people can check it out. And it's kind of a neat way to watch it. And we also do have a podcast available here on CentralCityRadio.com. And we're on the King FM channel. In fact, if you want to do a show, you need to contact Julian because you can do a very affordable show. We have a lot of people that do that. Maybe you have a specialty you'd like to talk about. You can sure do it. I want to let our audience know, too, I have been invited, I'm going to do it actually, but on Tuesday, I'm going to be on a panel. The BBC is going to be in town here in Phoenix. So the BBC, in conjunction with K-Jazz, which is kind of the PBS radio station down here. I have a little bit of echo in my ears, just to let you know, Sonia.
Okay.
They're going to be in town, and what they want to do is talk about the presidential race, surprise, right? And they want to talk to Latinos that support Trump. And it's no secret, any of you who've listened to our show here on the Chips and Salsa Show, I am a supporter of Trump and not of the other person whose name starts with an H. I'll try not to say that name, her name. So that's going to be fun. That's actually, if you live in town and you know, that's a vice presidential debate night. But you could go check us out, and that's going to be at 6:30 at the Kroc Center. And we'll have that information. We'll post that up on the Facebook site as well. The also other political thing, and I think Terry's going to be there with us too, Terry McMahon, on Thursday night here in town is Central Republican Women of Phoenix. And we meet every first Thursday of the month. And what we're going to do, because we're so close to election time, we're going to have, I call it candidates at the mic. So we have a lot of different people coming. Our own Arizona Republican Chairman Robert Graham is going to join us. He's going to get us all motivated and try to convince people how to vote conservative and why they should. But we're also going to have Terry McMahon, a candidate, speak to us, and a local candidate, Andy Zhang. I think I'm pronouncing that name right. Andy, Z-H-A-N-G. He's actually been on our show, too. He's running for the Roosevelt School District, and that is a very interesting district. There was a forum last week, and if you go to his Facebook site, you can learn more about him as well. But I invite you, if you're interested, you can go to crwoop.org and find out more about it, and you can get you a reservation. We have dinner, it's $30. You get a full dinner. It's great people. We have a great club, and it's Quack Night, which means we're going to be having a tribute to our men who are members of the club. They're the Gentleman Ginger. And Terry's actually quack too, so we'll be saluting him as well. So it'll be a really fun night. It's something, if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. So what we'll be talking about, as I said, we're going to talk to Terry McMahon, and he's running for the Maricopa Special Healthcare District number 5. So you don't want to miss it. Let's see. I wanted to direct you also, if you go to our Facebook site, first of all, make sure you like our Facebook site. You know, we're getting there, aren't we, Sonia? We're like, we're 1,200, 1,300 likes.
Somewhere, yeah.
Now, I would like to get, by the end of the year, to 2016.
Be
That's
nice.
our goal. My good friend, James T. Harris, he has surpassed 100,000 likes. If anybody follows me on my personal Facebook, I post a lot of his stuff. He is just a fantastic guy. He's out of Tucson. I think he's probably the best afternoon talk show host in Tucson. I shouldn't be bragging about him. I should be bragging about us. But go to our Facebook site. It's Chips and Salsa Show. And we try to post a lot of good stuff up there. Sonia, you probably get on there and you see we post.
Yes, I do.
What Sonia does really good, she does a really good job, and she'll post a lot of good stuff on there too. And a lot of times I ask her, hey, should I post this? Is it too rough? Is it not rough enough? Or what? Oh my gosh, I see myself. That's kind of scary. It's kind of spooky. Did I talk with my hands a lot or what? But we did have some very interesting things on there. Let's see, what do I have, a minute or two left? Sonia?
You got 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Well, I'm just going to invite you to go there because you got to see Mom tries a yoga pose in front of the dog. And the next segment, I'm going to put Belle up here in my lap. So she's not going to do yoga poses, but she will take care of you and entertain you. And we have a lot of political stuff, the top 300 conservative websites. We have this one you got to watch too. This is a video, and it's a Muslim woman who was caught buying soda with food stamps to sell in her store. Okay, so I kind of teased that. So please hang on tight. Go get your own chips and salsa so you can come back and join us here on the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Latta, kind of doing solo, but I have my good friend Terry McMahon who'll be on here. And of course we have Secret Sonia at the helm. So we're safe and we're going to have a fantastic show. Stay with us. We're done.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sonia. How'd that go?
Went good.
That sounded great to me. You're very fluent.
Just keep moving and grooving, lots to talk about.
What,
The gift of gab.
what number is that mic on that?
2.
Okay.
Do you need some headphones?
I don't know.
Try those headphones, that way you can hear yourself. You don't have to use them.
The volume might not be up on that one.
Okay. Is it better to use them or not?
I like it because I can hear myself. If you have that echo, I might take them off. And then you can control the
Oh.
volume here.
I might have to see. I don't know if Julian can fix that.
Well, don't be saying it.
Oh, you won't hear it till we come back.
Yeah.
That way it's too loud. You might have to clean the plug up. You found the water, I take it?
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
Ella. I'll put you up here. Thanks for going to Chase after.
Oh, you're welcome.
I could put her leash on.
But she's going anyway.
You're good. You'll stay here. She's a good girl.
Yes, she is. You're a cutie. Yes, you are.
So did you go on your Facebook site and share it?
Share what?
The show?
I didn't. I thought I could do it.
Go to, do you have your phone?
I do.
We've got about a minute.
About a minute and a half.
Go to the Chips and Salsa Show Facebook site. That one with ponytail.
Oh.
He looks more like a dog. It's my tail.
It's cute.
That's why I wore it, because I have a tail on it.
Chips and Salsa Facebook.
Nice.
Can't reach Google. Oh, because I put it on airplane mode.
Oh.
I thought I was supposed to be there. Chips and Salsa Facebook.
I've got to share it.
Chips and Salsa Facebook.
Yeah,
page.
1 minute.
Compresses and see.
Share.
And so go to that where it's showing the video. Do you find it?
Yes.
It's showing the video?
30 seconds.
Well, that might do it on the next break. Yeah. But I did it went here and then I just shared it and then went to my Facebook site. Okay, Bella. Bella, you gonna say something?
Is it a post?
Oh, that's not. It's chips, letter, and salsa.
Oh. Chips and salsa.
Here are some matching pictures.
It wants you and.
And I always like the one with the fancy hats. This is Alice Latta. You are listening to the Chips and Salsa Show. If this is your very first time that you've listened to it, you know, Terry, and I'm telling, I talked to my guest, Terry, I'm getting an echo, so you may not want to just use your headphones. You
Okay.
just talk like that. But
Yeah.
if this is the first time that you are listening to the show, what it is, we're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. We also have a show on KFNX on Fridays at 8 p.m. And it's kind of a conservative Latino lens. I don't think there's anything locally like this on the air, on radio at least. There might be something on TV. But it's typically George Ortiz and I. We're here, and we do a show. We do politics, pop culture, some silly stuff sometimes, some crazy stuff. And we're trying to get that, and I've got to work on it, our military moment back. So,
Yes.
So we're going to really work on getting that back. I've been busy. I went to my high school reunion. I'm going to have a family reunion this week. It's been crazy. I was up in Tucson with the Arizona Federation of Republican Women, so it's time to settle down. And if you're looking at us on Facebook, I'm going to tell you again how you can do that. So you can go to our Facebook page, which is Chips Letter N Salsa Show. So you go there, and then when you find the video, then what you're going to do is share it, just like you'd share any other post. And then it will go to your Facebook page. And we'd love for you to do that because the more views that we get, we're very happy about that. Very much so. So now it's time to bring on our super duper guest. And I'm so happy to introduce to you Terry McMahon. Welcome, sir.
Hi, Alice.
Okay, and how's that mic? So you need to have the mic a little bit more, so
Probably just a little closer.
Mic a little
Yeah.
closer to the mic. That's good.
All right.
So happy that you can make it in today.
I'm glad to be here.
Appreciate
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Certainly. Well, Terry McMahon, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. I actually served from 2008 to 2012. I was on the board for Maricopa Special Healthcare District number 5. And he'll tell you more about this, but basically what it is, in Maricopa County, there are 5 districts for the supervisors, and so the healthcare district mirrors those as well. Well, I served 4 years, fascinating, really interesting thing to do. But towards the end of my term, I wanted to run again, but it took so much time, and you needed somebody who could give it more of what it needed to get done. It's a very important position to our community. And so, lucky enough, I ran into Terry and recruited him. I think Sarah Coleman helped us out with that. And he said, hey, I'd like to do that. I knew he'd make a great candidate, and he did win. So now he's running again for re-election. So we're happy that you're doing that, Terry. I'm going to hold up for the camera on your cards because they're beautiful cards. Oops. That was Bella. That wasn't me. I need a cough button for her. And what you got there, Bella? What are you eating? Anyway, so we got, and she's doing her Hillary impression, okay? Terry, tell us first about a little bit about yourself personally, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the healthcare district.
Sure. Glad to. Excuse me. Well, let me say first that I've lived in Arizona for about 35 years. I grew up in western New York in Rochester. I worked for a number of companies there in the field of quality assurance, quality control, so I'm a big data guy. I also received my MBA from the University of Rochester then, with a concentration in finance. We moved out here in 1983, and since then I worked for a company out in Hexel in Casa Grande as quality assurance manager, and then ran my own business as a dog grooming business, a mobile dog grooming business.
Oh, you know, she needs a shave here.
I was thinking,
Got your tools?
Bella could stand a little beauty shop treatment.
Oh, yeah.
And following that was an interesting experience, but I closed it after about 7 years, and then I started working for the state in the Department of Economic Security, and I held a number of different positions there, many of them associated with policy, planning, and project control, project management.
You've had quite
It's a
vast
pretty-
experience from having your own business. I mean, dog grooming, 3-4.
It was.
With numbers crunching and then actually working within a government.
Right, so it's a wide range of experience in both the public and private sector, which I think has been very helpful to me in my service on the district board for the healthcare district.
And you're married.
I'm married. My wife Carolyn and I celebrated our 52nd wedding anniversary this past June.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Which
Yes,
was
she's
really
giving you
great.
some kudos. Bella
Yeah.
does with her little lips.
We have 3 children, a son who lives here, another son who lives up in the Bay Area in California, and a daughter who lives in Indianapolis. And 4 grandchildren, unfortunately none of them here.
Oh, wow.
But it makes for nice travel occasionally.
Yeah, I know you
Right.
must be really hard.
Yeah, right.
Grandkids.
Well, we get to see them several times a year, so it's, at least we get
And you have some
face
doggies
time.
too.
We have a couple dogs, yes, right, really sweet little dogs. In fact, I have a picture on the back of my cards. If you ever get one, when I'm out passing out cards, you'll see my 2 little dogs with my wife and me. The dogs are
Cool dogs. Did you
Oliver
see
and
them?
Winston. They're the sweetest little dogs going.
Oliver and Winston, they are just the
Yeah.
coolest dog, and they're just,
They're
very
cute.
well behaved.
Right.
So you did.
So let me tell you, when you first talked with me about running for this seat, for the Special Healthcare District 5 seat, I was intrigued, but I didn't just like many other people in the county, I really didn't know anything about the Special Healthcare District. So I made it my business to find out. I went down and talked with Betsy Bayless, who at the time was CEO of the Integrated Health System, and I talked with a number of other people and realized how important a part of the healthcare system in the county this is, and decided it would be really worth my effort to try to work towards getting on the board. And
So you really had no big-time political agenda. I should mention too, you retired at that time.
I was retired,
Did
yeah.
you?
I had just
And-
retired.
And which is great because people don't realize how much time sometimes these boards get. They're not paid. I think you get a per diem, but they're
We
really
get
not
it per
paid
diem.
positions.
It's not
at
a
all.
salary position at all, no. And it takes, for the normal board member, it takes about probably 10 hours a week or so to keep up with what's going on, what we need to know to make appropriate decisions. I was elected twice in the past 4 years as chairman of the board, and that really takes a lot of time. That was probably more like 20 hours a week.
Thank
But it was
you.
well worthwhile. Well worthwhile. And-
Well, I knew that you would make a really good board member. We were talking about this before because one of the things is Terry was no stranger to budgets and numbers. And when I was on the board, that was one thing. I don't mind numbers. That's not check and things like that. When you're working with these giant budgets, it's a whole different animal. So that was a really good quality that you had kind of
It
going
is,
in.
right. And it was very interesting. As I say, I do have an MBA in finance, and I'm accustomed to dealing with budgets. But the healthcare finance world is different from most every place else, because, well, when I first looked at the first income statement, it said that it was $2 billion plus a year gross revenue. I thought, man, this is big. And then I saw adjustments to income, which are the result of the reductions taken by Access against the cost. I liken it to the rack rate for hotel rooms. You know, when you go into a hotel room, you see on the back of the door many times what this room goes for,
Mhm.
and nobody ever pays that. You know?
Right. So
Right.
who cares
Well,
what it is?
the gross revenue in a hospital system is sort of like that. Nobody really pays that, you know, because the insurance companies negotiate rates that are lower. Access specifies rates that are lower. Medicare specifies rates that are lower. So you have the, say, so to speak, the rack rate, and then you have what people pay, or what insurance pays. And it cuts it down tremendously so that the net, not the net income, but the net adjusted revenue is more like 750 million rather than 2 billion. And that was quite a shock to me to see how much the adjustments are. And particularly for Maricopa Integrated Health System.
We should mention
roughly-
first
Yeah,
too,
go ahead.
how it's set up, because one of the things when I ran, a lot of people would just say, oh, that's where, all the illegals go, and that's the county hospital, and it's much more than that. The system is
Oh.
much more so, and not to detract you, because we
Yeah,
can get
no.
deeper into the weeds on the
Yeah.
finance stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead and explain how the system's set up. I think we got a minute or so.
Okay. Well, the system consists of the Maricopa Medical Center at 24th Street in Roseville, the Desert Vista Behavioral Hospital in Mesa. Each of those are around 200 beds. The medical center is a little more than 200 beds. And then there are 14 family health clinics that are in various locations around the county. There are a number of other programs, domestic violence, women's refugee resettlement, a whole slew of other programs. The county voters set this district up in 2004 with two main purposes. One, to serve the medically underserved, and secondly, to provide for excellent academic graduate medical education.
30 seconds.
So,
Alrighty.
I guess
Well, we'll get into more of that, because as you can see, there is a lot to talk about, including the Burn Center, which is awesome. But don't go away, because we've got lots more to talk about here on the Chips and Salsa Show with special guest Terry McMahon. So we'll come back. So we have We're doing it with the 5 seconds limit.
Yes.
That's this is going to be much easier.
Is she still filming?
Yeah, so we got to be careful with talking.
Okay. That's what I wanted.
Okay, so let's try this again. Go to your phone.
Bye, Bella.
Oh, Mark's, where's Mark? Mark says, turn up Terry's mic a lot. It's less than half the volume of yours, or share your mic with him.
Chemistry? What do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down the obstacles.
Chips and
Innovative
salsa.
ways to instill old lessons and taking learning far beyond the
Chips and
It's time to recognize that great things are happening
got
in
the title.
teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You might have made it the first time.
Find out how you can make more and teach at home. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ed
Mike is hooked up. Did you hear the text that Mark sent me? He said, turn up Terry's mic a lot.
It's
It's less
small.
than half the volume of yours.
I just turned it up a little bit more, so
He said, yes, so let us know when you come back.
yeah.
Camera quality control.
Well, it's good that he's listening.
And the good thing is, on the Facebook, then it's still connected on Facebook. So
Mm.
did you get that?
yes.
So you're at the side, so you scroll down and you'll see the video. Oh, that's the website. So you have to be on Facebook. Go to Facebook. We're gonna get you to do this.
Right. So I have to go open my own Facebook.
You don't wanna do it, you don't have to.
No.
Yeah, go to Facebook.
Oops, we're back already.
Cherry for Health Facebook.
Yeah, we love chips and salsa. You know, that's my little great nephew, Zachary, and I never get tired of hearing him say that. I'm going to be seeing him sing, hopefully. And so we're going to get back here with Terry McMahon, but I want to explain to you, because I know we've been trying to do it with Terry. So go to your Facebook page, Chips and Salsa Show Facebook, find the video, and you can share it. Now, I apologize, I had my husband text in, and he said that Terry's mic was kind of low, so Sonia did turn it up, so hopefully we're going to be in the groove this time. Okay, Terry McMahon, welcome back here.
Thank you.
Segment number 3.
Glad to be here.
Terry McMahon is a candidate, and he's running for the Maricopa Special Healthcare District number 5. Okay, we got a lot. We got 5 in the whole district, because we're a big, big county. And I think, what did we vote last time? I seem to remember, like, there was 100,000 people voting or something.
Roughly that, yes, right, 100,000. District 5, we probably should explain. District 5 covers the area from 48th Street and Thomas, running west from there, west and south from there, over to 19th Avenue. It runs up 19th Avenue to Northern, then it goes west to around 100th Avenue, then it makes some jogs, but basically it covers that part of the city of Phoenix and all the southwest part of the county.
So you've got some downtown, and it's in the hospital. Is
The
actually
hospital is
in
in
the
my
district
district,
itself
yes.
too. which
Right,
is a big deal.
as are a number of the family health clinics, the 7th Avenue, 7th Avenue Walk-In Clinic, the South Central on Tamarisk and Central, the Avondale Clinic. As they say, there are a total of 14. Those 3 are in District 5.
It says, to use a political term, huge, right? Had to throw that in there. Had to say it, you know?
Yeah, right.
Had
It
to say
is
that.
huge. The district itself, I understand, is larger than 7 states.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
So that just kind of should tell people out there how important this is with the budget and the people. Another thing too, and we can talk some more about this, but one of the things that when I was serving there, I'm very impressed, is the trauma unit. People don't understand that, I'm sure it's still the case, Terry, but I remember the firemen telling us if they ever got in trouble, that's where they wanted to go.
That's still the case. You know, the firemen, the policemen, when they get injured, they ask to come to Maricopa Medical Center's emergency department, which is a level 1 trauma center. It's also interesting that trauma center is a level 1 trauma center for adults and children. So one of the great things about that, nobody wants to require that kind of care.
Sure.
But when it does happen, the whole family can be together in one institution, the Maricopa Medical Center.
And unfortunately, I have personal experience with that. While I was serving, my nephew, Mark Snippy, was killed by a drunk driver. And he ended up, before he died, they did take him there. And I can tell you, it was amazing. He did a fantastic experience. Of course, everybody's kind of in shock and things like that. But I like to tell people that, because if you ever think, oh, I don't want to go there, that's the county hospital, you don't know. Go in. And in fact, people can call you and they can take a tour of the
Oh,
facility.
absolutely. Anybody who would like to take a tour, we're always glad to arrange a tour of the whole facility, or any part of it, like if there is an emergency department, whatever they're interested in, we're glad to arrange a tour. One of the things that I wanted to mention just now, that you mentioned, and it just went out of my head, but it'll come back
You know
because
what?
we've got some more time.
Staying on that tour thing, why don't you go ahead, because I don't want to forget to, give information on if somebody wants to do that, who should they contact, and then your website and Facebook and all that good stuff too.
Okay, they could contact me, Terrence McMahon, at mihs.org, and I can arrange that. Or they can call the medical center directly, and people there would just explain that you'd be interested in a tour, and they'll arrange it.
And it's really, one of the things I didn't get to do, have you gotten to do this? I wanted to shadow the emergency room, and I never got to do that, Terry.
I have not. I've gone on many tours throughout the whole institution, but I have not shadowed anyone yet. It's just...
That was one thing, because you gotta have time. These positions, and there are so many things too. I wanted to promote the system more, and you're very good at doing that. But there's a lot of things that you can do, and I'm just so glad that you're there, and I hope that you get returned to that position. I think you do have one opponent who.
Well, I agree with you. I have found it a really rewarding experience, and I think I've made a contribution to the board, and I really hope that I am returned, because I'd like to continue. We're doing some exciting things now. As you know, in 2014, the voters passed Prop 480, which provided the district the ability to issue $935 million in bonds. And the purpose of those is to replace and renovate the facilities and equipment which is woefully outdated. The hospital was planned and built in the late 60s. The family health centers were built years and years ago. None of these facilities are designed or equipped to deal with medicine in the 21st century. And that's why we proposed the ballot initiative, and the people of the county recognized the need for this, and so they supported it overwhelmingly.
And one of the things too when I was running is what I remember is people, of course, no one likes their taxes raised and is a good conservative Republican. Of course, I hate that. I don't want to give any other dollar that doesn't need it. However, what I used to take is my tax bill with me and show people, because whereas, your schools get a lot of money, they get a lot of money, and they need the money, so you can argue that. But when you compare the life and death situation you have with the healthcare system, I mean, it was just remarkably so minute.
Right. I think the tax bill for the average, say, $200,000 house is roughly $30 a year
The whole year.
for the system. Right, $30, roughly, right around that. The bond, we did issue some bonds last year, $100 million, and those, I think, are about less than $20 a year on the average homeowner's tax bill. And for that, $50 between the two, we really are providing care for hundreds of thousands of people in the county. And we're providing excellent care. We are ranked in the 25th percentile, which means 75% of the, we're ranked in the 25th percentile of teaching hospitals in the United States, which means that 75% of the teaching hospitals don't do as well as we do.
I mean, that is so impressive. That's another element that people don't know or understand about that system, because it is a teaching hospital.
It's a teaching
And
hospital.
we were always going to say, we hope that the people that taught there would stay also in the county, and hope we're having more success with that.
They do. We have roughly 400 physician residents every year that we train, and roughly 70% of those stay in, if not the county, at least stay in Arizona. And Arizona is suffering a tremendous shortage. I think I read not too long ago that we have something like 278 physicians per 100,000 of population. Massachusetts, for example, has 475 physicians per 100,000. We have a tremendous shortage of physicians, and Maricopa is doing a great job of addressing that. And with the improvements that we're going to be able to make as we implement the bond, we anticipate that that is going to, the number of physicians that we train and who will stay here is going to grow.
This is terrific. It's really, it's so interesting, because of course I have a little bit of background, so, but I want to make sure that we're keeping it more elementary for our audience. And I can't believe we're at the end of the segment here. We're going to come back. We still have a couple more segments. Lots to talk about here. If you have questions or something, we don't really have a call-in on this particular show, but you're welcome to go to the Facebook site, which is the Chips, letter N Salsa Show, and put your comments on there, and I'll go there and make sure that I can address them as well. But stay tuned, and we have more of Terry McMahon running for the Maricopa Special Healthcare District, and I'm Alice Latta here on the Chips and Salsa Show, and Sonia's at the helm. Thank you, Sonia.
You're welcome.
This is fun.
Good. Have a good time.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I was concerned because you are so fluent on that mic, and I thought I'm going to sound like a stumblebug.
Because one of the things, it's just like we're sitting around, that's why we call it Chips and Salsa Show. Because we wanted to create an atmosphere, we're having some chips and salsa.
Where's the tequila,
drinks.
though?
I know. One of these days. We've thought about that.
Maybe not.
And make it very comfortable. One time with Sonia, I think that George sometimes will stumble a little bit.
No.
And I think it's because he's worked so many jobs and he's sleep deprived. I'm saying this on Facebook, I shouldn't be doing it. But, and one time I think he had a beer before or something, and he said, you know what, you should always have a beer.
Yeah, because he got loosened up a
Kind
little
of loosened
bit.
up, yeah. Unless he was worried about it. No, you're doing a great job. I mean, you know your topic.
I'm hopeful. Yeah. Right.
Very, very good in it. I'm gonna steal some.
Yeah, do it.
I've got your old
Take
ones,
more.
but they're
I've got-
blue. These
Yeah,
are great. I
right.
like the
These-
red.
Yeah, well, the sign guy decided to make a
Say
match,
hi, Bella.
match the big signs, which was
Say
great.
hi,
I said, hey,
Bella.
thank you so much for doing that. That was great.
I still have my signs and I still have cards.
Do you really?
Just toss them. I say they're basically like this. but
You're a
if
pretty
I
girl.
want to write again, I would do that.
Yeah.
Right. How many terms would you like to do this one, maybe another one?
I would, I would love to. We don't expect to complete the whole implementation until 2022. And so I would really love to run again so that I
And see
could
all-
shepherd the whole thing from start to finish. That would be exciting, right?
Well, we have, there's Sue's been on there.
Yes.
A while now, Mark came on at the same time.
Yes.
It's nice to, I like fresh blood. but
Yeah,
it's-
1 minute.
But it's nice to have experience in
Oh.
that was one thing when we were on there, and I remember we saw people and stuff.
Right.
There's just a lot.
It's a complicated system. And now with all the changes that are occurring in the healthcare industry.
Yeah, and do you want to talk a little about that? Because I was thinking about talking a little about that, national Obamacare impact, and all that nasty stuff. Okay, Mark says,
Is it good still? Or?
still needs more volume and closer to the mic.
All the way
Maybe
up.
Hug that mic
All right.
when you're talking.
Okay, I'm going to stop this and see if I can listen to it too.
Break my teeth.